Welcome, friends, haters, gentle lovers, and feeders. Join me as we experience together the most bafflingly interesting person on the internet. On today's episode, Amberlynn Reed does basically nothing. Hello, my friends. Amber has uploaded. Now her videos are just vlogs. We're back to the upload whenever and whatever she wants. This one is called I Don't Know What My Real Weight Is. I'm gonna guess she's gonna say like her scale is broken, and that's why when she has been claiming that she's losing weight, when we can all see that is very clearly not the case, that there's some other reason other than her lying about it, So let's just see why she doesn't know her real weight. If you'd like to like and subscribe, that would literally be hectic. I'm not gonna lie.
Hello. If I look
that intro, the video part of it's fine. It's just clips of her being stupid, but that song, I don't get it. It's not great.
look kind of like a mess, I am. If you hear that siren, that's currently what's happening right now. Tornado warnings. It's been going on for like the last hour. I am watching the live news. I keep going to the lobby because that's what they request us to do when this happens. I take my fur babies with me. We go out there until the siren stops. But this is like the fourth siren, and not many people are going in the lobby. And honestly, I feel like the lobby has a lot of windows, and I feel like my apartment's probably more safe. I have like wiped off some of my makeup. I get really anxious during tornado warnings, but I'm watching.
What? You get anxious during a tornado warning? Get out of town. That's crazy. I've never heard of such a thing. Who would get anxious during a shut up. Of course you do. Everybody does. Does she really think that that's unique to her? Does she think everybody else is just totally like, yay, tornado warning? But if you live in Oklahoma or anywhere in Tornado Alley, you sort of get used to going through the motions of tornado drills and things like that. And you hear the sirens, and the first time it's a little, you kind of get a little anxious. But kind of like what's happening here, about the fourth time, you're just like, whatever, it's fine. And I also want to know what makes her think her apartment is safer than the lobby. Now, I will say, I'm not sure why the lobby is a great place, but there must be a reason when a place has a designated tornado shelter or tornado gathering place. There's usually a reason for that. So, I mean, if the lobby does have a bunch of windows, then it doesn't sound like a great place. But I mean, with Amber, you just never know. It could be a freaking fortress down there, and she's just gonna pretend like it's bad because she wants to stay in her apartment. She doesn't want to gather up her fur babies and go down there because she's lazy.
Watching the live weather, I'm gonna keep doing that, and I'll give you guys an update. I'm scared. Okay, you guys, I think we are good from the tornadoes. If anyone was affected, my heart goes out to you because I know how scary it is. Like, I get so much anxiety when like a tornado type of weather happens, warnings, watches. I literally cannot sit still. I'm in the lobby, I'm walking down the hallway, I'm going back to my apartment, I'm back in the lobby, then I'm in the clubhouse, then I'm back in the elevator, going back up, going.
That sounds safe. That's a great thing to do when there's a tornado warning, is to wander all over the place and being in an elevator. That's a great idea. Yeah, let's just be sure we're in the elevator when a tornado comes. Oh my God, this is stupid.
Going back down, I'm literally just like everywhere, cannot sit still. Obviously, me and my mom checked up on each other, and I made a joke, and I was like, it looks like Zoloft isn't working because I'm taking the Zoloft for anxiety, depression, stabilize my mood a little bit, etc., etc. But
that was a real smooth transition there, Amber. Like, I got to talk about tornadoes. Also, don't forget, I'm taking Zoloft for anxiety and depression, and she just has to talk about it. She has to tell you all the disorders,
I've only been on it for 2 weeks. It's not going to work in that way. So the side effects like drowsiness or energy, vivid dreams, those type of symptoms can happen like literally just within a couple days of taking Zoloft. But like the actual therapeutic side effects, the reason why you're taking Zoloft, those don't start happening until.
Now, I'm not sure if she would have had enough time to have watched my video from a day or two ago where I said, you said it took 5 or 6 weeks to kick in, but you're saying all these side effects are happening.
I don't know what it is. Like, I probably remember maybe like 2 to 3 dreams a year. But the last few nights, I have remembered my dreams so vividly.
So I am no expert on SSRIs, but even she said that they take like 5 or 6 weeks to start seeing any kind of results or seeing any effects.
And I'm also going to be taking my first Zoloft. I'm so excited. I know it doesn't start working for like 5 to 6 weeks, but every single day that I take it is just another day closer to me feeling better.
So it's a little weird that just a few days after starting to take them, she's like, you guys would not believe all these effects that I'm feeling. Now, first of all, just to be fair, what she's saying here is actually true. A pharmacist in my comments said that the actual effects of Zoloft can take several weeks to start taking effect, but the side effects, like she's saying, like the sleep and then all that stuff, can kick in a little sooner. I just think it's interesting that she seems to always be responding to the things that I'm saying. I don't think I'm the only one saying these things, so it's probably just her watching all the reaction channels and sort of responding to the kind of common thoughts that we have, but still, it's just interesting.
To like 5 to 6 weeks. But anyways, we're good over here. Twinkie and Wasabi were super scared, but they're good too. So, change of topic. Time for a little Amazon haul. So something I recommend are these wild protein chips. They're literally chicken chips. They're so good. So this is the Himalayan pink salt. The only flavor that I've had is the salt and vinegar. So freaking good. So that box comes with 8 bags that look like this.
So first of all, just like in the last video, we have determined that she spends so much money on Lego and perfume and crap like this, and yet she says, I just can't afford my Ozempic or whatever it was, Zepbound. It's just too expensive, you guys. Because first of all, she spent over $600 on those 2 Legos, and then she said there are several down here that I haven't even done yet. She says she likes to have a queue of Legos.
So I like to have a queue of Legos. Like, I have so many down here. I know people will judge me, but like, this is my passion.
And just to kind of touch on what she said in that last video about people judging her and it being her passion, people aren't judging you because you're buying so many Legos. People are judging you because you are buying all these Legos and then also claiming that you can't afford these medications and treatments that likely will save your life, that will actually help you get to a healthy weight. That's why people are quote unquote judging you. So she's spending well over $1,000 a month on Legos, would be my guess, plus the at least $3,000 a month on DoorDash, because she DoorDashes every single meal almost. So she could afford it if she would cut back on something else, but she's not willing to do that. And she has gotten on this big kick that she needs protein, like that she needs all this extra protein. I mean, she clearly thinks that protein is going to do something good for her, like help her lose weight or something like that. But I don't think that's going to happen at all unless she is active or changes her calories, because ultimately the only thing that causes you to gain weight or to lose weight is changing your calorie intake. And obviously exercise can help you lose weight, but we know that that's not happening here.
And this bag has 14 protein. And literally, it's antibiotic-free chicken. These are delicious. And they're always sold out, like, at stores, so I had to get mine from Amazon. So I did not have a toaster, so I got one. The brand is Bella. It's super cute, small, dainty. This is actually the same brand as my air fryer, which I love.
Is that a huge toast slot, or am I tripping here? So I will say this is kind of an interesting design. At first, I was like, who has bread that wide? You know, but then I thought about it for a second and realized you can just put 2 slices in side by side instead of back to back. So it just takes a second sometimes. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of a cool design. I like that. I don't buy that she didn't already have a toaster. That's weird. Why would you not have a toaster? She's been living there for that long and didn't have a toaster. Maybe that's why she eats her bagels right out of the bag. She was just too lazy to get a toaster.
So I hand wash all my dishes. I do not use the dishwasher. I think since I've lived here, I think I've opened the dishwasher like 1 time. And I'm kind of over the way that I dry my dishes. Like, we've gone in stages, okay? When I first moved here, I used to just dry them on a paper towel. And then I elevated up to a towel, like a kitchen towel. And then I went even further and I got an actual like drying dish mat, but I'm over it. So we are now elevating it again. It comes with this guy, this thingy majigger. So I like this because there's actually an area to put like my plates and stuff. Before, like, I didn't have all that. So I'll show you like a before and after when I set this up. So last but not least, I have opened the box, but I haven't actually opened like the actual package here. So I got one of these skull pandas. I thought they were so adorable. So you can get one of the 6. Personally, for me, I want either Wanderer's Tune or Partita. Like, so cute. Wanderer's Tune is this one. Partita is this one. So
no shade to anybody out there, but I don't know. She's 35 years old. It's a little weird.
let's open it together.
Of course, says the guy with a giant collection of Transformers. In fact, I'll take a picture right now of what my view looks like right in front of me. And I also have kids, so I can have all this really cool stuff and pretend like it's for them. So you want to know something crazy? Most blind boxes, what they call them, or like surprise packs, are like $5. This one is $30 for one box. And she got that one right there. $27.99 for one.
Time. I'm going to open this. What is this circle? There's like some random circle floating on here. I have no idea what that is. All right, so thankfully I did not need a knife for that. So I didn't realize it, but it feels like wood or fake wood. I don't know. The way that they described it on Amazon, they were like, yeah, it's stone.
Would you say that fake wood is food? It's an inside joke. It had to be there.
Whole TikTok of me eating my food. Girl, that is not stone. Our dedicated team is here to assist you with any questions or issues. Thank you. I think I got it covered though. All right, so I saw the pictures online. Some people had it like this, and then this was like this. Some people had this like this. I already know what I'm gonna do. I'll show you guys in a second. I'm gonna do a before and after. So currently this is what I use on my island to dry my dishes. I've had it on this side.
Amber, if you're watching, and we all know you are, you need a side character. You need something else. Think about what you're doing right now. You are telling people how you dry your dishes. Really let that sink in for a second. Your vlog is telling people how you dry your dishes. I know you don't do much in general. I know you say you do, but you don't do anything. That's why you need somebody else. You know, you need to find somebody who's willing to be on camera and let them be a part of the experience, because that's the only way you're going to start picking up in views again. I don't know, man. This is bonkers. It is crazy that she thinks this is content. And I used to say, but what do I know? She gets all these views, but those views are dwindling fast. So it's clear that this stuff is boring, even to her biggest fans.
I've had it on this side for a while, but I'm ready to have it on this side. So I'm gonna put it over here, but I am gonna get rid of this.
You guys are not gonna believe what happened in today's Amberlynn Reed vlog. The dish drying station was on this side. Now it's on that side. I am flabbergasted. I have gasted my flabbers for sure.
This is actually my mom's Tupperware because her fiance made dinner and they gave me some. It was potatoes, cabbage, and corned beef. It was super delicious. So I had some of that.
So that's a pretty good size Tupperware container, which would hold a lot of that concoction, the corned beef stuff. And I would bet my bottom dollar that that thing was full. And I would also bet my bottom dollar that she ate all of it in one sitting.
So I watched this. I'm gonna give it to her next time I see her. Put this away in here. I usually have this like super organized, but for some reason this is on there. Like I have all of my glass Tupperware perfectly organized and in this container for the lids. All right, so there it is. But we have to test it first. It low-key just seems like, I don't know if a big plate is gonna hold up very well. So here's a smaller one. Oh my God, is it gonna fit? Yes, okay. But then here is the bigger guy of it. Oh, okay. I have to like press down a little bit for it to be super sturdy. I guess it makes sense. So I genuinely think this is better than what I usually do, which is just this. All right, have fun drying.
Well, aren't you supposed to like wipe them down? Someone should probably tell her that if you just leave standing water in a dish or something like that, it can start growing worms. I mean, it can for sure start getting that kind of film stuff around it when it dries. But let's let her know that that's how worms are made.
I genuinely don't even want to talk about this, but for transparency reasons, I feel like I have to because it's the right thing to do. As you guys know, I have been weighing myself and doing weigh-in videos for you guys, but also simultaneously, I have been feeling anxiety about my health, and I've been vocal with that. And
Okay, two things. Anytime she says it's the right thing to do, she's doing it because there's either like a rumor going around or people aren't believing some of her lies, or something like that is happening to where she feels like she has to address it. And the other thing too is simultaneously.
I haven't been saying why. So with the weigh-ins, I've been like staying the same, but within the 10 weigh-ins that I did do during those last 10 weeks, in total, I was down like 7 pounds. But then simultaneously, I'm over here like, I feel like my breathing isn't as good anymore. I feel super swollen every day. I feel more like it's hard for me to do daily activities.
Yeah, and you're obviously gaining weight. We can see you. We have eyes. Now, I know that for her, looking in the mirror every day, she doesn't see it because it's so gradual in her own vision, right? We don't see our own weight gain nearly as much as other people do. When people see us every few days, they can see it kind of gradually happening. But yeah, we can see it. And that's why when people call her out and are like, hey, we can see you're gaining weight, and then she continues to say she's losing weight, everybody's like, what are you talking about? You know? And so to us, it looks pretty delusional. It looks like she is coping hard and pretending like she's losing weight. And I think that's exactly what's happening. I think she's pretending to lose weight, and now she's going to say her scale is broken or something to just try to excuse away the reason she's been so full of shit when it comes to her weight.
And it was making my anxiety so bad. So that's why I was like, what is going on with my health? Because over here, my scale is saying that I'm not gaining weight, but simultaneously, my body genuinely feels like it is. So when I went to the doctor, they did weigh me. It was completely different than what was on my scale here at home.
What do you want to bet she's not going to tell us what it was?
That happens. I didn't think anything of it at the time. It was kind of shocking to see. I didn't mention this in my video because I think I was like lying to myself. I was telling myself that their scale's broken, but mine's not. But then 4 days ago, I stepped on the scale.
And this is a great look into her mindset, the way her mind works. She hears a number that she doesn't like, and instead of thinking, wow, I've gained weight, or wow, my scale must be broken, her first thought is, their stuff must be broken. The doctor's office, the professional equipment that I've used, the people that do this day in and day out for a living, that has to be wrong, not me. That is Amberlynn in a nutshell. It's never her fault. It has to be somebody else. But also think about what she's saying. She's saying, I was losing weight according to my scale, but my health was getting so bad that I couldn't figure it out. Like, even though I'm losing weight, my health is getting worse and it's making me anxious. And that's why she's saying she did all these tests. She went to the doctor and did all this stuff. I was having the chest pain. And it's because it just didn't make sense. The weight was going down, but my health was getting worse. And I just don't believe any of that. I think she was lying about losing weight just because that's what she does. And then she was also simultaneously saying that she's having all these health problems. And everybody, including probably her and babies, were like, if you're losing weight, which you're obviously not, we can see you, then why are you starting to have all these health problems? This doesn't make sense. You're telling us you're losing weight while having all these health problems. And so now she does this. She makes up this story about the scales being broken and saying, yeah, I really truly thought I was losing weight. It's so weird, you guys. Shut up.
But then 4 days ago, I stepped on the scale and it said I weighed 350. And that was when I like flashed back and I was like, wait a minute, is my scale broke? I was like, something's off. Amberlynn, it's time to just like genuinely be honest with yourself. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to put a gallon of water on the scale because literally you know exactly how much a gallon of water weighs. It kept saying it only weighed a pound. And I'm like, that's not how much a gallon of water weighs. It doesn't weigh a pound. Like everyone knows, a gallon of water is about 8 pounds. So then I decided to change the batteries because I was like, okay, maybe it's just the batteries. So long story short, I think that the doctor's scale was actually right. I don't know. My scale is broke. I did drop it a few months ago. I didn't think anything of it. I was sweeping the floor. I had it on the corner of the sink. It fell. I genuinely thought it still worked. But switching the batteries out only made it more like hecticana. I don't know. I'm really...
Ew. Also, that makes the story even dumber. If she knew she dropped it at one point, and then she continued to tell herself that the doctor's scale was broken and not hers, that either means you are the dumbest person alive, or you're lying. Or both. It could be both.
Upset. I ordered a new scale and it's going to be here in a couple days and I'm not looking forward to it at all. Like I should have listened to my body more because my body was telling me, Amberlynn, you're gaining weight, while I had a broken scale telling me, oh girl, no, you're actually this size. Like, I don't know. I just feel really upset about it. All right, you guys. So today is Tuesday.
I would love to know what the doctor's scale says because, I mean, she is looking pretty big. I don't think she's quite to 2019 big yet. At that point, I'm pretty sure she was over 600. So she could be in the 550s at this point.
So I have my live stream. So I'm actually about to go live. I have 6 minutes. So I'm gonna get it ready now. Sometimes I have this annoying glitch where it won't let me use my camera or my microphone. But all I usually have to do is delete one of my tabs. I don't know. So I have a lot of tabs open because I watch a lot of different like YouTube videos, but I can only handle like a few minutes, actually a couple minutes at a time. It's hard for me to just like sit and watch something. Like, I'm gonna title this one tornadoes because that is literally what I've been experiencing today. Actually, I'm gonna title this one tornado warning because I've had multiple of those today. And sometimes when the weather's really bad, like super windy, etc., the internet gets so wonky. And it's annoying because I pay a lot for my internet and I have no other like internet options. I have like the best one. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. When the internet.
What do you expect them to do when the weather gets really bad and there's lightning everywhere and stuff? Like, that's just going to knock some things out sometimes. Now, I could understand if your internet was slowing down every once in a while or wasn't as fast as you thought it should be. That is something that you should complain that you're paying too much for, right? But the weather is not something that paying extra can fix. You know, you can't mitigate the weather by paying more for your internet or your electricity or anything.
Internet messes up, I literally just restart the live. It doesn't seem like it bothers people. All right, I have it set and ready to go. Okay, I have 2 minutes before.
But here's the thing. When she says it doesn't seem like it bothers people, anybody who complains, she would just call a hater or a troll. And that is something that lolcows especially, but narcissists in general do, is let's say they're doing something with like 10 people. And they do something and 9 of those people get pissed off, but one of them says it's fine. They internalize that one person is legit and right, and those other 9 people are just mean and they hate me, and that's why they acted that way. They're just jealous of me, or they're mad, or they're trolls, or whatever, and that's why they got mad. So I'm going to go with the one guy that said it was fine. Now, I'm sure most people understand that the internet's going out or whatever, but just in general, that's how she approaches her audience and the way they respond to stuff.
Before my live starts, but immediately someone is like, please address the black folding chair situation type deal by the door. And I was like sitting here like, what? And then I looked over and I'm like, oh, that folding chair I have had for literally ever. I've never used it since I've been in this apartment. It's just a random folding chair, but I have it sitting there because it used to be in my closet, but I want my mom to come pick it up because I have a few boxes for her.
This is the problem with somebody who is lying and lies all the time, is they think putting all these extra details into a story makes it sound more believable. Like, I had it in the closet, and giving a whole backstory to the chair. Putting all the extra details in makes it sound more like a lie. Most people are thinking that the reason that chair is there is because she brings it over to the kitchen, because it's right next to the kitchen, and uses it to cook or uses it to, you know, kind of just do whatever. She probably just kind of carries it from room to room so that she can sit down, because she's getting back to that 2019 stage where she has to sit to do everything. In fact, I'm more likely to believe that now because of this stupid explanation of why that chair was sitting there.
So I'm gonna let her have the chair. So that's the reason why it's sitting there. That is such a random thing. Like, I feel like people genuinely make a mountain out of a molehill, or literally a mountain out of something like that's literally this small. It's literally just a folding chair that's sitting against my wall for my mom. How weird.
So if you were anybody else, that would be weird. But if you know the context, if you know who Amberlynn Reid is, and if you know her past and just kind of the way she operates, it's a legitimate question. You know, maybe not a legitimate concern. You know, it's not something that anybody's like concerned about necessarily, but it is a legitimate question because you have been chairbound basically in the past. And people are wondering if you're getting to that point again. So when they see this chair that is in a kind of weird spot, it's right next to the kitchen, it's a legitimate question. But she minimizes everything because that's what narcissists do. They gaslight, and you're the crazy one for even asking. That is just their MO. In fact, when they do that, when they turn it back on the person asking the question and say, what a stupid question, why would you even ask that? that is a telltale sign that they're hiding something or lying.
All right, you guys, so I've been sitting here editing my vlog. I actually finished my live stream about an hour ago. It went really good. I feel like live streams have been just really great lately, and I appreciate it so much. It was like, I don't know if it was a troll or what, but they sent me like $70 in super chat and then like called me a cow. But a couple weeks ago, they were hitting on me so hardcore. Like they were just thinking I was the person who hung the moon. So that was some entertainment. And also I talked a little bit more about foster care and...
You know, when I did watch her live streams, her members only streams, there were a handful of people that spent a lot of money just to insult Amber. And the funny thing is they started off being nice, kind of like what she's saying here, and they would kind of slowly get meaner and meaner until they were just saying really awful stuff, but they were still giving her money. There was one called Jay something, I don't remember, but it may have just been Jay. And I just remember thinking, that is a shitload of money to give her just to say some mean things to her that she reads. Like, what is the point? She's not going to listen to anybody. And as soon as she thinks you're being mean, she just tunes you out. Giving her money just to insult her is not productive.
Told a story time or two about it. I don't know. I feel like I really love my live streams. The person who hung the moon. So that was some entertainment. And also I talked a little bit more about foster care and told a story time or two about it. I don't know. I feel like I really love my live streams, like genuinely. And I want everyone to be a part of my members' live streams. Like there's a whole community of people and I look forward.
Only $10 a month. You can be a part of the exciting foster care story times, you guys. $10 fucking dollars. That is nuts that people pay $10 a month just to listen to this ding dong talk about herself.
To speaking to you guys every single week. I'm like, I wonder how so-and-so is doing. I wonder how so-and-so is doing. Like, it's just so fun to me. Anyways, I'm gonna keep editing this vlog. All right, so I just had to get out my printer. My apartment is so itty bitty. I have nowhere to like have it set up, so I have to have it put away at all times. So when I need to print out something, I have to like get it out. It's this whole thing. But I had to print out some paperwork because I'm actually about to get labs done tomorrow. My doctor actually is checking me for an autoimmune disorder, which is called Hashimoto's, I'm pretty sure. So it's an autoimmune disorder that like attacks your thyroid. So he wants to find out like the underlying reason for the reason why I have hypothyroidism.
The underlying reason for the reason I have hypothyroidism.
So I had to print out my lab requests for that. So when I was showing...
So I am still, until I see proof that she has hypothyroidism, I'm not going to believe it, because she showed the proof of her diabetes test and she was real excited to show that and just never showed anything about the hypothyroidism. Here's the thing. She's claiming now that hypothyroidism is basically the reason she can't lose weight. But if you go back and watch every video for her entire YouTube career, almost all she talks about is food. It is the number one thing on her mind, clearly. So I just think it's kind of a coincidence that this person who eats all the time, and basically her entire existence revolves around eating, this person also just happens to have hypothyroidism that is the number one cause of weight gain, according to her. I mean, basically that's the equivalent of somebody who smokes 5 packs a day of cigarettes and then they get lung cancer and then all of a sudden say, yeah, you know, it turns out this air pollution gave me lung cancer. What are you gonna do? There's nothing I could do about it. You know, it wasn't the choices that I made. It was the air pollution. It just happens. It's out of my control. That's what this feels like, is somebody who has eaten copious amounts of food her entire life, and then once it starts catching up with her, then goes, yeah, I got this thing that's out of my control. Pfft, who'd have thunk that I would get this thing that caused all this? Like, no, it's the food.
Take me longer to do a Lego, and sometimes it takes me like 2 seconds. Sometimes I'll do multiple Legos in a week, and sometimes I'll do one Lego every couple of months. But I'm always working on it. Meaning some days I'll build for hours, other days just for a couple of minutes. And I'm in that couple of minutes era because I do have like so many different hobbies and things that I'm doing every day. But I heard people loud and clear.
Okay, she's got so many hobbies and so many things she's doing every day. You know, so many. Like what? Like, what else besides Lego and bingo? What else do you have that you can do other than, and I don't think you can count watching YouTube as a hobby. I'm sorry, you just can't.
You guys want to watch the progression of my builds, so I'm going to show them to you guys. So if you guys remember, these are the last two that I did and I showed you. Now I'm working on this third one, and this is how much I have done so far. So that's my update for you guys. Okay, guys, so I just filmed a TikTok for the first time.
The explanation for why she showed that took 5 times longer than the actual clip.
I'm in literally forever. I used to post TikToks all the time, but I don't know. I stopped. I was in like a depressive episode. Wasn't feeling the greatest about myself. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I feel like the greatest about myself, but a lot of things can happen at once. You can have fun. You can feel sexy, all while trying to be proactive and becoming a healthier version of yourself. Like you only live once. Just because you're trying.
She says that like she has ever actually done that. She has never been proactive in becoming a healthier version of herself. Ever. Not once. Not for a second. She has said she has, but she never has actually done that.
Trying to be healthier, or you're not the societal norm of like what's attractive, doesn't mean that you cannot feel that way. There's a song that I've been obsessed with personally, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna post a TikTok. So you guys should definitely go over there, give it a look-see if you want to. But yeah, it's just fun being carefree sometimes. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm gonna put.
Okay, so again, on her TikTok, which I don't know if I really want to look at it, but I guess we'll check it out just to see, because it's usually a cringe fest over there. Yeah, surprise, surprise. It's the same as every other TikTok video she's ever made. It's just her doing like a thirst trap, kind of pretending to be sexy sort of thing. Literally, that's her entire TikTok. Look at this. Every single video is the exact same thing. So when she says, it's okay to be carefree sometimes, I mean, it's every TikTok. It's the entire page. And I'm sorry, listen, your weight has really nothing to do with it, but you are so cringe. This is so cringe. Look at this. I'm sorry, but this is the cringiest shit anybody's ever made. Look at that. I mean, come on. It's just so stupid. So this is the new one, the one she posted like yesterday, I guess. All right, so there is definitely a girl involved. Yeah, see, a lot of the comments are like, new girlfriend era coming. We're getting a new caretaker with this one. And that's exactly what happens is she's either got somebody that she's talking to and she wants to kind of impress or whatever, which only one type of person is going to be impressed by this, but, or she's getting desperate. You know, she's getting lonely and she wants to fish for somebody. It's just so dumb. And again, even if a skinny person was doing that for every TikTok, it would be just as cringe.
Put my clothing back on. Guys, now that I have decided against the tap water, it comes from the literal kitchen sink. Like, I understand it's a faucet. I understand it's tap water, but it's coming from a sink. So to me, it's sink water. But ever since, I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to be drinking my gallons of water, which I do. I just buy gallons of water and I put some ice in here. And it has been like the easiest.
Yeah, that ice. Guess where that ice came from? The tap.
Breeziest.
And guess what happens when that ice melts in your water? It frees the worms.
Water consumption I've ever had in my life. Like, I genuinely every single day look forward to waking up, cleaning this, refilling it.
She really just said she looks forward to drinking water. Okay, she's trying to convince herself more than us.
By the way, please clean it. Someone sent me a video of someone not cleaning out this part right here. And they ended up like going to the hospital because they didn't take it out because there was like mold in there. You guys, remember to clean your cups. I have too much of like anxieties about things getting bacteriaed. So things like that are very easy for me to remember. I clean this every single day. So
she is so flippant about her anxieties. And there are people out there that actually struggle with real like contamination OCD and other kinds of OCD. And she just thinks it's quirky and cute to say, I have these anxieties about things being bacteriaed. And it just comes off as so pretentious and so dismissive of actual people that actually have to deal with this stuff. Because what's actually happening is she's grossed out by the thought of mold growing in there. And yeah, we all are. If any of us saw that video of mold growing in that thing, we would all be like, ooh, that's gross. I'm going to make sure I clean that. It's not anxiety. It's just a normal human behavior.
So alongside vlogs, I'm still going to be filming Let's Talk videos. Vlogs and Let's Talk videos get the most views. I want to give you guys what you want. I love vlogging. I love being interviewed by you guys, answering your guys' questions, rumors, whatever it may be. I'm still going to have weigh-ins.
So the vlogs are just the easiest thing, right? She just sort of pulls her phone out for a few minutes and films every day or two. And the Let's Talk is the one series that's remaining because that's where she gets her narcissistic supply. That's the only reason that stayed.
What I ate today's within my vlogs, whenever my scale comes, which I'm really nervous for because it's a mixture of like, okay, I know my scale's broken, but like, is the doctor's also maybe off because I am so much bigger and sometimes doctor's office don't have scales that like work really well with my type of size. Like that has happened in the past. So
the doctor's office must have said it was pretty damn high.
I feel like my weight is just like really unknown at this moment. Or was my scale actually working during all those weigh-in times and it just recently broke? I don't know. Like none of it makes sense to me. But if you guys want to...
I mean, it's very clearly simple. The doctor's office gave you a number you didn't like, and you are using any kind of mental gymnastics you can come up with to try to make it not be that number. So that means it must have been pretty high. And of course, she's never going to tell us what that number actually was. Even if she gave a number, it wouldn't be true. But I would love to know what that number was.
Send me a voice memo. You still can do that by going to my Instagram at hectic.amby. Send me a microphone emoji. I will send you a smiley face back so then you can send me a voice message asking whatever you like. So I want to do one card oracle. I'm going to be doing Shine from the Inside. I really like how positive these oracle cards are. Oh, there's already a card that's just for me. Believe in yourself. Unleash your inner unicorn. Look how beautiful that is.
Yeah. Again, they tell her she's doing everything right. Or at least that's the way she interprets every oracle reading is you are awesome. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. And that's why she loves these cards, man, is because she wants to be told that everything is fine. She wants to be told that she doesn't need to change anything, that she's perfect and she's doing everything perfect because she's too lazy to actually change anything. And she's too narcissistic to think that she needs to change anything.
Champion Unicorn embodies the feminine yin energy of the moon and represents magic, mystery, intuition, innocence, courage, wisdom, fulfillment, and abundance. It connects us with our truest essence by teaching us to trust our own intuition and believe in our own unique sparkle magic. Our inner unicorn knows our wildest dreams and desires. Tapping into the untamed energy feels like absolute freedom and gives you permission to be your authentic self. This card usually shows up when you've been doubting yourself. Wow, I loved that.
Honestly, that could be the explanation for literally every single oracle card she's ever gotten.
All right, you guys, so it is time for comment of the day. So comment of the day is where I take the last vlog from the point of me filming this. I put it into a random comment generator picker type deal, and I respond to the first few comments that pop up. Cricket Halo 49 said, photo shoot in panties. Not a photo shoot, but I mean, kind of like a personal photo shoot. I'm not gonna be like posting them online or anything like that. Scott Wilson.
In that last video, she said, oh, I'm going to take such cute photos.
And cute, like, oh, the front. All I can think about is I'm going to take the cutest photos. I'm not going to lie.
When she was showing all her flag-size panties. And the thing is, even if she was skinny, even if some skinny girl was showing off panties and going, oh, I'm going to take such cute photos, that's just a weird thing to say in front of a bunch of strangers. And her response to that comment really lends credence to the idea that there is somebody she's sending these photos to, right? She is pushing this idea that, oh, I've got a new relationship or there's a new girl that I'm talking to with the TikToks and then the talking about her undies and all that kind of stuff. Like there's definitely somebody and she definitely wants everybody to know it. And because she knows not only her audience, but just the world, she knows people are going to be like, oh, really? And I think that's the reaction she wants. So then she can play the victim and play like you're being so fat phobic. But I want to know how the hell would she take pictures of herself? No matter what angle she gets, you can't see the underwear. She would have to like lift, and never mind. You know what? I'm just going to stop there.
And 1672 said, I too love ice cold milk. Literally, that is the only way to drink it, ice cold. I will say though, when I was in an all-girls group home when I was 10 and 11, a trick that they taught us is when we felt like we couldn't sleep, to warm up a tiny bit of milk with a little bit of honey in the microwave. It was supposed to just kind of soothe you and calm you. And I mean, I guess it worked a little bit as a little girl, but I don't think it would work as an adult. Plus, thinking about drinking warm milk now makes me like cringe a little bit. Dr. Pistachio ASMR.
And apparently saying milk that way is like a Utah accent or something, but just the way she does it is so annoying. And here's the thing, I like milk to be cold, but putting ice in it, ice melts so fast that in a minute or two, if you haven't finished the milk, it's gonna be nasty and watered down.
Said 1835. That's another one of your sock accounts, though. I find it really.
So yeah, she just happened to randomly pick these comments, you guys. She just happened to run this comment generator and just happened to be these comments that she could respond to about sock accounts and stuff. Yeah, sure.
Really amusing and funny, and also like it shows me that people just like they don't have critical thinking. A lot of people watch me, so there's gonna be a few positive comments that seep through in the tornado of chaos, no pun intended. A lot of people will not leave positive comments because they get attacked. Like,
it's not all positive comments, it's that one account that Positivity Always Wins is a known sock account of hers. It had been caught leaving comments and then accidentally saying I instead of she. And on top of that, it had a lot of the same errors and grammar that Amber frequently uses. So by putting all that together, it was really obvious that it was her leaving these comments. And then that one and Kindness First had the same profile picture and were caught on the same forum saying basically the same things. So the one they're talking about, it wasn't just that it was positive, it was that particular account is known to be a sock account.
Like hardcore over just the simplest comments. So when I do see positive comments, like I'm rooting for you guys and I appreciate you guys. I even appreciate the silent positive supporters that I have. It genuinely means the world to me. But when there is positivity being spread, people always think it's my sock accounts. Guess what? Amberlynn doesn't have any sock accounts. Imagine that. How would you guys feel if you knew that 99.99% of the rumors about me are actually all untrue?
Think about the fact that she's saying all this, and while saying this, knowing that she went and left that comment. Imagine the cognitive dissonance you have to act this way, knowing that you did the exact thing that they're saying. And she has, these people don't have critical thinking. That is, again, gaslighting. That is a narcissist thing to do.
Y'all would probably pass out. Anyways, I'm going to end this vlog. I hope that you guys did enjoy it, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you for spending the day with me. Bye.
Got her. The craziest thing is she is so boring, but she still manages to be so infuriating with everything she says. And the funny thing is, she says, if you guys knew that 99.9% of the rumors about me are untrue, you would, I don't know, pass out or whatever she said. But a couple things, that means some of the rumors are true, but I think there are other things going on behind the scenes that we don't even know about that we would be jaw on the floor if we found out some of the stuff that she does behind the scenes. I think she's worse than she lets on, and we already know how bad she actually is. Because when we find out actually true things, like when things get proven about her, it always ends up being worse than we thought. Like when Beck came out and actually told what was going on behind the scenes, we assumed it was bad, but it was far worse than we thought. And then when Emily talked to that person that sort of fished the information out of her, turns out not only is she abusive emotionally and verbally, it is likely that she is physical, that she is actually a physical abuser. So don't let her fool you. She is far worse than you think. Now, the TikTok thing is on the rise. That means hopefully we'll get a second character pretty soon. And if she has two brain cells to rub together, which I don't think she does, but if she does, she will put them on camera, or at least have them involved in some way, because she can't keep this channel going by herself. She is too boring, and it is going to die if she doesn't get a second character. Even the Am babies are starting to get bored and not wanting to watch her. So anyway, we'll just have to see, I guess. And for now, in between her vlogs and stuff, I'm going to be going back to the Beck era, and we're gonna start looking at red flags again. In the Beck era, the video that we're on is when they're starting to really do a lot of stuff together. And I think we're gonna have to get our flagpoles ready, because I think the red flags are gonna be flying. So anyway, I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.